Hello everyone, this is Liam Palmer here. I'm pleased to host this new show, Meet the CareTech Suppliers with a No BS Guarantee. In my view, the CareTech space in the UK is evolving quickly. It's consolidating, and with over 400 suppliers, it's hard to keep track of what's best, what's new, and what you might be missing out on. We take an exacting look at a supplier and their brands, wanting to know who they are, what's unique about them, and whether their products are any good. In my view, care providers are tired of being sold to. So I don't allow any pitch or any sales fluff. We want the facts, and we can then decide ourselves. Hope you enjoy this candid conversation. Stewart, been looking forward to meeting for a while. Good to see you. How are you?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Very good. So thanks for joining us on this inaugural episode, meeting the suppliers, finding out about the people and the stories behind some of the care tech that's out there. You're Stewart Bates from Inspired Inspirations, this we know. And just going to ask you a few questions about yourself, about your business, just so that listeners could find out a bit more about your product, but also the company and obviously the sort of person behind it. So with that in mind, tell us a bit more about your business, Stewart.
So Stewart Bates, one of the co-owners of Inspired Inspirations. So for the last 5 years, we've been producing and selling touchscreen activity tables into care settings with a bespoke product specifically for care settings designed by care home managers based on feedback from what they told us that they wanted. We're now in about 1,500 care homes that have got tiny tablets. Okay,
perfect. And you said, you mentioned touch screen activity tables. Can you sort of break that down slightly?
So we're very simple in the way that we are and describe things are probably the best way of explaining it. It's a table which is very flexible in the way that it moves and can tilt and what have you. Looks like a piece of furniture, and it's got a giant touchscreen device in it. Works exactly the same way as a tablet, and you can do activities on it. So in essence, we call them touchscreen activity tables.
Okay, makes sense to me. So I'm fairly simple, so I'm sure everyone else could get it. Everybody, it's a giant tablet. Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right, thank you. And so I know that you make these. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that? What have you got? Where is that?
Yeah, so it's not just a product that we've sent some instructions over to a factory to build them for us and send them over on a cargo container. We're based in Shropshire, built in a factory in Telford. So we're a family-run business.
Yes.
And fortunately, the manufacturing side of the family have got decades of experience in manufacturing products, extremely robust product, particularly with metalwork. So we work with metalwork, work with Word, work with the IT components, computer components, and the Android system. Pop it all together with a 1-year warranty. It's all kind of crafted meticulously, and we've got an extremely strong record of reliability, durability. The screens themselves, we've not had a screen broken through standard use in all of the screens that we've done. No one's asked their money back. So we've got extremely happy customers. And across the 1,500 care settings that have got tables and various other places we've got them, there's over 2,000 screens now fully installed across the United Kingdom. So reliability and durability of the product is something we are really, really known for across the sector.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, thanks, Stuart. I mean, certainly when I first heard about you and spoke to you, I hadn't realised, how well established you were and in how many cares. It just goes to show, doesn't it? I like to think I know, a fair few tech suppliers, but I didn't know your product, and I didn't know, so it's been really interesting actually hearing your story. And so talk to us about, what's the benefit to care providers of having this product? So I know what a tablet does, but what does this do? Why would care settings want this particular product?
You did say that you'd only got me for 15 minutes, so I'll try and keep it brief. Put it really simply, it's activity tables what they're really, really good for, that you can play games on them, do all sorts of different things. Anything you can use a normal size tablet for, you can use these for, but on a much scale. And the benefits are that people who are unable to use a normal size tablet due to the size of the screen, the inability to hold it, just it's too small, it's too flimsy, for example, they have the digital world. What it's really, really, really good for is your one-to-one engagement. So from our experience, there's some people within care settings, typically every care home would recognise this. These people are more introverted, they've got memory loss in a lot of cases, they may have lost their confidence, whether it's physically or cognitively. If you can use the tables imaginatively with them, using app-based technology or using connecting people with their memories, media, music, whether it's music, pictures, videos, sharing stories in one-to-one or group settings, you can help these people feel better, function better, release the happy hormones through quite holistic use of digital technology. So that's in my mind, that's what it's really, really good for. If you just wanted to do a word search, do that. But that's what I believe it's really, really good for.
Got you. I mean, myself having run one or two care services in my time, so I think I'm getting it. So someone who might have serious memory loss, who doesn't naturally engage in the groups, maybe stays in their room a lot, maybe not able to completely articulate what they want or need. And what you're saying is this is a tool for someone in the care home to spend some time with that person, to sort of reconnect them, re-engage them and stuff. Okay, so that's why care providers would want it. And if you've got like a single example, I'm a bit pressed for time, but you've got a single example of where it has been useful.
Yeah, well, there's hundreds. To put it in real simple terms, anyone who is exactly who you've described, where myself and my brother-in-law John, or a member of the team where we've physically been in a care setting and we've asked to meet that sort of person within the care setting, countless. One which was quite unique was during COVID, during the lockdown. There's a couple in a care home in Worcestershire. What they wanted to do while they were within the care home was they wanted to renew their wedding vows. It was something that was really important to them, but obviously during lockdown, it was to do it in person was impossible. So what the manager Tanya was able to organise was a virtual vow renewal. Virtual vow renewal. That's difficult to say.
Oh yeah, not vow. Yeah, got you.
And the effort that they went to was phenomenal. They got the couple dressed up in suit and dress and looked absolutely gorgeous. They got the flowers. It was all laid out beautifully, and they were able to use the table via video calling with the vicar on the other side, and they were able to do a virtual vow renewal.
Wow. Okay.
They were able to involve family members and everything. It's just something as simple as that, which actually failed really, but they were able to really make a difference for that couple within the care setting.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I get it now. I get it. Thank you. All right, and tell us a bit about what you did prior to becoming a supplier, because I gather it's kind of sales and marketing was your background, right? Yeah. So I started working in sales environment from the age of 19. So going on for 17 years now. And I grew up in Northwest Wales, so along the coastline there, very sort of rural. And the product that I worked with, I was able to work within the local vicinity and the local towns and villages, work with people providing a product. And I learned a lot from it. Basically, I worked within that industry for quite a long time, from selling myself all the way up to having a team of 130 people reporting to the board of a large national company. And what we took through all that time there is what I'd learned as a salesperson myself, working within the rural villages and towns and what have you, is that you've got to treat people fairly. Right.
And I soon learned from seeing what other people did is that if you overpromise and underdeliver, especially in environment and a community like that, people will soon tell everyone else that you're someone not to deal with. Yeah. So kind of flipped it a little bit and went, well, if we under promise and over deliver and you treat people fairly and personable and just a nice to deal with. People will do the opposite, tell everyone that you deliver a fantastic product and you're someone to be trusted, and that's how we grew our businesses very, very well. We've kind of taken that sort of ethos straight into the care sector, and it seems to work very well for us. I think it works even better because a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, with you. I mean, I've got an abiding interest in the use of customer service, which can, in order to, sort of differentiate yourself in the market. And back in my old days in manufacturing, I found that the one who serves best can often become, really quite dominant. And I can certainly understand how treating the customer with respect, doing what you say, being a straight shooter, as you said, not over promising, being decent to deal with. I can certainly see how that would make you stand out a bit. And I like your ethics. It's why we got on from the start, actually, because you're about getting it right for the customer. So all respect to you on that, Stewart. Thank you. And so, we've talked about this a little bit, and really wanted to get across to the listeners what you feel is unique about your product and your offering. And we sort of broke it down into three different things, which was sort of spec, training, and continuous improvement. So do you want to talk us through those three things that you feel are sort of unique for your product and your approach?
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to sit here and obviously do what everyone does and go, our product's the best and you have to trust us because we say so. The reason that we believe we got the spec of the product exactly right is we started off creating the tables and providing them into special education needs, early years and standard education. And when we were asked to transition into care, because we're not from a care background, we went, right, well, we need to speak to people who know what they want, and they've got bits of technology at the moment that we need to do to improve on. So myself and John, we just really basic. We just rang up hundreds of care homes and what technology have you got, and just as simple as that, really. And we spent weeks doing it, and we learned a huge amount about it. And that's where the tiny tablet came from. In essence, is trial and error and understanding really what the care sector wanted. I mean, it's extremely durable, which is obviously very, very important for a care sector. It looks nice. It doesn't look like a piece of hospital equipment that someone who's in care will be looking at and thinking, flipping heck, what's this going to do to me? It's not intimidating to the staff or those being cared for. We got a huge amount of training and resources that's then come from that.
Okay. Training is one of your other big things, isn't it? So, why do you focus on that? Why are you differentiating yourself on that? What's that about?
Because looking at it from a very simplistic view, it's a waste of time having a fantastic piece of technology if no one knows how to use it. Yeah, and what we found out that we did was there's loads of technology on the market, and the care sector will spend loads of money on all these different bits of technology, and they'll have all these ongoing monthly fees and what have you, which we decided we're not going to do. And the feedback that we had was no one trains us. Once we bought it and paid for it, we don't hear of them. No one trains us. So that's led. And the theory is the more people use it, the more we train people, the more resources we give them and inspire them to use the table and use the technology, the better the results that they see from it with the people that they care for.
Okay.
And then the more they go and tell everyone within the sector, just flipping out, this is fantastic. You want to go and speak to these people because this is the difference that it's made to so and 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 so.
So to put that in my words, then, so you're not just trying to sell a product, you're trying to sell it and then make sure people use it so they get the benefit, and then from that, to build reputation and stuff. So it's a sort of ethical place, but also what's the point of selling it if people don't use it or don't know how to use it? I suppose it's a confidence thing. I mean, I know you talked about having 27 modules, which sounds like a hell of a lot for a giant tablet, but I'll take your word for that. But it's because of the amount of things that it can be used for, and what we're very, very aware of is people within the care
work exceptionally hard and they're working long hours and they don't always have a huge amount of time for the training. So what we've done with that is we've put it all online with short videos and as well as our downloadable resources and what have you. So as and when they get a chance, they can nip online and go, oh, right, I want to learn this aspect. How can I do virtual tours and take so-and-so to various different places that are important to them. So they've got constant access to our diaries for one-to-one refresher training should they.
Oh, yeah, you did say that, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, we just try to make it easy for them to access training because there's enough blockers in the way of other things that we have to do, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then lastly, I know that you talked previously about your interest in continuous improvement with the product. So why is that important to you? Why your focus on that?
Because things are constantly improving and we've obviously got to stay ahead of the curve. So one of the things that we like to do is every kind of 4 to 6 months, what we'll do is we'll strip a table completely down in the factory, down to basic components and look at it and go, right, is there anything that we can add to it to make it better? Is there anything that we can improve on? Is there anything that we can do to make it even more reliable? Can we simplify the manufacturing process? And because we're in constant communication with our customers, we know how it's used in the real world. We're able to get feedback on things that they might want to see improved. As it stands at the moment, we've got it exactly where we want, and there's nothing that we can see to improve on it, and there's nothing available in the market to make it better. It's exactly where we want it to be.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so you develop the product after speaking to hundreds of care managers. You've got lots of training resources so that people can intelligently use it well and get the benefit. And then you're saying it's made in a super robust and reliable way. It's a pretty strong position. Pretty, so I can understand the source of your confidence now. We've talked a few times. I think I now get why you're confident that you feel that this is the best product and nothing more than that. And you feel this is the most reliable product, nothing more than that. I'll take your word for it. Thank you very much. All right, so moving on and just sort of drawing to a close. So I think, as I said, when I first met you in terms of hearing about what you do, as I said, I've not heard about you. You just seem super confident. You're a great guy, which you are, obviously. But I guess for the people that haven't heard, of the company, of you, I mean, you have sort of covered it off in your answers, but nevertheless, for the skeptic, for the doubter that talks about the, other dominant brands that are coming from overseas on ships and stuff like that versus, this product made in the UK, what gives you the confidence to sell into this market in summary?
In summary, the experience that we've got, so myself, my brother-in-law, John, physically ourselves have been in over 1,200 care homes, using the tables, not just going in to try and pitch them to the managers. In fact, that was literally a 5-minute conversation. We just go, right, we want to meet some of the people you care for. Who would you think would benefit the most from engagement today? And they're the people that we'd ask to go and meet. We're very, very hands-on ourselves. We've used the tables ourselves in all of those care homes. And then since that, on a continuous basis, we're always asking for feedback. We're always speaking to the care sector and our customers to understand how they use now as well, because they use now slightly differently to how they were used 5 years ago, partly because the sector is a lot more confident in using the technology, and partly because people going into care homes now tend to have used their own technology themselves anyway.
Got you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that, Stuart. And I mean, I think, this is our inaugural, it's a hard word to say, inaugural episode. So thank you for your patience in putting this together. And I think, the original brief was to find out the stories behind the brands, behind the products, behind the people. It had a no BS guarantee, which meant no one was allowed to promote it, say it's the best. And to your absolute credit, you have stayed away from that. So I'm grateful. Thank you. And so finally, in that spirit of, who's behind this and one, for potential customers to want to know who you are a little bit or in some way. So whatever's comfortable, but if you can perhaps tell us something about yourself that we wouldn't otherwise know, that might be of interest or a sort of key to understanding you a little bit.
Well, we tend to, across the care sector, when we go to care shows and what have you, John and I have probably always been described as a bit quirky, lively sort of characters, I should say. In fact, we won an award for it last year for personalities in care, according to NAPA, which we're very proud of. I think one of the things that kind of makes us different, as I said, John and I are very similar characters, but last year I got diagnosed with, after 30 years worth of speculation, I got diagnosed with ADHD. And it was only something that I wanted to kind of understand the way that my brain works a little bit better, because I understand everyone's very, very different. And that's what it's really, really helped me do. And it really helps John and I with the business, is understanding everyone has different needs. Everyone understands things in a different manner. Everyone learns things in a different way. It needs to be spoken to differently. From our point of view, one of the things that you get with being neurodiverse, I suppose the posh way of saying it is when you're really interested in something, passionate about it. Like when you and I first spoke, one of the things you said is you're really passionate about what you do, and we really that's really helped us with developing the product, developing the training, understanding how it's used on a daily basis. They call it, the official term, I believe, is hyperfocus, and we are fully hyper-focused on using the tables correctly, and I believe that has really helped. The way that we are has really, really helped us within the business and across the sector as well, with the reputation that we've gained over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is our fifth conversation, and I appreciate your patience, and it's been a sort of pleasure to get to know you a bit. And I think what comes across strongly to me is a kind of healthy obsessiveness, about the products. And, because when I think about, if I was going to start something new, would I actually call several hundred care homes? There's a certain sort of obsessiveness about that, because, you could probably get most of the answers from 30 or 50, but to keep going, and I think I'm understanding you a little bit more, it's that kind of, that energy and sort of push to get things right, to get things done. I can see how that would be a strength. So I mean, thanks for being candid and authentic to sort of share that. As a fellow ADHD, I know the sort of mixed blessing of having these extra abilities and just sometimes a lot of mental energy. So it's been a pleasure, Stewart, and thanks for your time. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah. With thanks to Stewart of Inspired Inspirations there. What I found really fun about creating this first episode with Stewart was that I learned so much. Firstly, that like me, Stewart has ADHD, and in those first conversations, there was so much energy, there was a lot of value, but I struggled to filter some of what he was saying and to separate what was most important from what was just additional information. Once I heard his stories a few times, I've become genuinely impressed with his marketing approach. What I particularly liked was that he rang hundreds of care homes to find out what they actually wanted, both in terms of a service offering, a contract, and in terms of the spec of the product, and then went away and made it. I like the simplicity of that. I like the idea of serving the customer well. So I like that. I like the fact that he focused on training his customers better than his competitors, and therefore not just focusing on shifting the box, not just focusing on selling the box, but actually ensuring that the people that he sold to actually use the product properly. So I like that ethical approach. I like the fact that he wanted to make a positive impact into social care. I was impressed that he had sold this to 2,000 care homes. I was impressed that his product was made to be more durable, stronger than the competition, and he explained how he did that with the process of continuous improvement, and also with his family's strength in manufacturing. In my view, To summarize, I think Stewart has paid his dues to understand the sector, and I left with a real respect for what he does.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.